Tony Hawkins has got a podcast. I hope he's better at this than he is washing the kit, because he was fucking useless.
What is it, 26?
26.
Oh, I forgot my notes, didn't I?
But you go and get your notes.
You get your notes.
I'll tell the readers why 26 is such a shit
go on,
number.
You do that and I'll get my notes.
Right, so 26. John's gone to get his tablet. 26 is a shit number. It doesn't really achieve anything. It's probably the first. 14's a bit shit as well. 14 followed by 26. They're just shit numbers. 38's another one. So, right, well, that's wasted 30 seconds. Wait for John to come back. Oh, he's on his way back. Shh, quiet. No, we weren't up to anything. We weren't up to anything at all.
Sorry, there we go. Sorry about that. I've also had a purely medicinal slurp of whiskey straight out the bottle there. So
Yeah, good lad.
feel a bit better now.
Yeah, I've got my orange cordial.
Yeah, not me. I don't do soft drinks, me. Look, I've gone bullet points.
Oh, it's
Make it a
bullet
bit
pointing.
easier.
Hey,
Yeah.
you're liking that new notebook, isn't you?
As I do like it, yeah. I made these notes this morning, to be quite honest. I stole them off the internet. Right, where are we? 26, have you told
26, I've told him why it's a
What
shit
else?
number. Well, there's no particular reason why it's a shit number, it just doesn't really
Here's something.
stand out. You know
Listen
what I
to
mean?
this.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
is Gareth Ainsworth on his motorbike with his long hair, his leather jacket and his franchise comments all fluttering in the breeze behind him as he fucked off on Saturday afternoon.
Well, he also came out of the wrong entrance out of the hotel.
Good.
Trying to be jovial about it, whilst everybody just looked at him.
said,
Is
"You
it me,
look
or from a
twat,
distance? No,
Does he
he's
look
only-
like a
he's
twat?
only- well, he looks like Sean Ryder. Yes, he looks more like
Well,
Sean
he's half
Ryder.
a man,
all
Sean
the
Ryder.
time.
It's quite,
Well,
quite
yeah, exactly.
literally.
Yeah, so that was. Let's get that one. Let's get that.
Let's
out
get
of
that
the way
out of the way first.
then. So tell me about this, because I didn't listen to the interview.
Oh, you didn't, right,
But he
okay.
mentioned the word twice. Didn't
Twice
he? In
he
what
said-
context?
Well, he was saying that it wasn't a particularly big game, but his supporters, they were going to say, franchise this and franchise that, and I just thought, oh mate, you shouldn't have used those words. I mean, I don't give a shit what he says, to be quite
But
honest,
isn't
because he
this-
has
didn't-
proved
didn't-
himself, Tony, to be a complete arsehole.
Didn't he
But
actively
he did.
say once that, I don't really care, it's nothing to do with football, I just want to get on with what I do? I'm sure he said that in the past.
He did say something once, I can't remember what it was, but he did say a really disparaging thing about Milton Keynes once in the context of Milton Keynes and Wimbledon.
See, his issue is definitely...
He's an arsehole.
well, I mean, everybody's got a problem with us, we know that, but you don't expect to get it from the managers of teams we're playing. You might get the odd snide remark, not relating to franchise matters.
I mean, I made it
but-
quite abundantly clear in last week's episode how much I don't like
Yes,
him.
and several
But
episodes prior to that.
However, Tony, in the intervening 7 days, my dislike for him was amplified tenfold. I'm surprised. I'm actually a bit shocked, and I don't really know who or what they really think they are, because to
I
be
think
quite
it's
honest
because-
with you,
yeah, I
like I
think-
said on the internet, what they are is a nothing club from the arse end of a fucking annoying industrial estate in a town that you only pass through to get to fucking
What they
somewhere
are
else.
is a team that's massively punching above their weight.
Yeah.
That until 9 or 10 games ago had lost one game all season, were top of the table, or second in the table, have since lost 7 or something like that.
Good.
Won a couple, drawn one, or something. I think that's like the last 10 games, but they're still holding on to second. So they have got what
They've
I've
got
probably
something.
described as delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, they
at
are.
the moment.
They are like,
But come May the 3rd, whenever
I don't
it is, the last day of the
they're
season,
not
let's,
going to be in the playoffs then.
let's
If they're
see.
in the playoffs, I'll be amazed. Because if they've played, like when we played them away, like we said last week, I mean, I genuinely thought that they were alright. They were a good footballing team. They weren't a good footballing team on Saturday. They were a bunch of cheating, diving bastards, every single last one of them.
Well,
And you know who
this-
disappointed me? I'm on a real fucking cross tonight.
Who?
Do you know who disappointed me more than anyone else on that pitch? David fucking Wheeler. He
well,
really did. There was no need for him to do that.
but Louis elbowed him first, to be fair. But they did go out. They actively went out to try and get Louis at least booked or sent
Without a
off.
doubt. They targeted Louis
But
straight
he's just
away.
too clever for that. And I spoke to him after the game, and his answer.
Was he laughing? I bet he was
just said,
laughing.
all things are fair in love and war. Once if it's on the pitch,
Yeah, then good.
it's done.
If
Yeah, after the game, it's nothing to do with
I'll be
anything.
honest with you, it's a bold team that would target him, to be quite honest, because I think, quite literally, of everyone that plays in League One, he's the least likely
to get wound up.
anything.
Yeah, he's not going to get wound
No,
up.
he
He's
isn't,
been
no.
doing this for
Far too long. Yeah.
to be bothered by that sort of thing.
But it's a shit tactic, that. I mean, I thought to myself, how come you're second in the league? Are you having an off day, or is this...
Well, I don't know. I mean, that's...
I don't know. Like I say, we've seen them twice, haven't we?
Yeah, I think that's
away.
their 6th away loss in a row or
Good.
something. And I think they might have scored only got 1 or 2 goals. So, and then, of course, Mr. Akinfenwa with his Louis video, then fucked off to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was good.
And I'd just like to hold my hands up
Did
and
his
say,
team win? I hope they did.
Fair play to the press lads.
Yeah, I
with
did
their-
see that. It was good.
With their little digs, well, not so little digs
No,
on
it was great.
Twitter.
They were blatant.
Particularly the George Williams one. This is George Williams, who wasn't at the Super Bowl, but was in fact helping his team to a 2-0 win.
That was good.
He got man of the match.
He did.
I saw him as he was going in. I said, "You man of the match, George?" He went, "Yeah." I said, "You even playing?" For some reason, that didn't go down well.
I don't think he was particular. Well, I wouldn't have picked him.
Fuck off tone. So
I would have picked. I don't know. Who would have picked? I would have had Callum Britton again.
everybody had. I mean,
They
they
were
were-
all
they were-
good. There
they
was
all
no
had a good
weak
game.
links there.
No, there was.
Not at all.
I mean, we'll come to it. We'll talk about the game in depth, but let's start with the facts. We won 2-0.
We did. Fully deserved.
I did get a tweet actually
what did it say?
From a young man.
Hello, it said.
It said,
Can I have a mug? Did it
Hello.
say that? Because I fucking had a lot of them this week.
we will talk about that as well. Yeah, so I always predict
2-0.
2-0.
You do, Tom?
Yeah.
I said last week, but I don't think you did.
No, I said 3-0. And Phil West at Phil_MKD
Oh, right.
for the record. Tony Hawkins should have stuck with your prediction this week. Love the podcast, by the way.
Oh, good.
Cheers,
for
Phil. Yeah, so maybe I'll just go for
2-0.
actual wrong results and hope we just win it 2-0 every time. So I'd be happy with that. Very happy.
So the game, Tone, let's kick it
So
off.
the game.
From the off, I'm going to mention it straight away. I think that referee completely and utterly lost control of that match.
He very
Straight away.
nearly completely lost
He
control.
was very near to the edge to actually, where you think to yourself,
Yeah.
hang on a minute, mate. And my biggest problem with that guy is, and I know if you commit a foul in the first up to 10th minute, it's exactly the same if you commit a foul in the 49th minute. It is a foul, but I think where he lost control of that game was by booking Lewington as early as he did.
Yeah.
Because then, Tony, he then set a standard where you're thinking to yourself, right, these dirty bastards from High Wycombe here, what is this? So you're thinking to yourself, mate, you've booked Lewington. Alright, it was a reaction, and like you say, whatever. But yeah, I think, and it's an old football cliche, he booked Louis far too early. He then set his stall out, and he then thought to himself, I'm either going to have to book all of these bastards now, or I'm not going to have to book anyone. So he thought to himself,
it was
I won't
like
book
that.
anyone.
It was getting like that, and I thought
He was an
at
appalling
half-time,
referee, that guy. Really was. He
were-
shit the bed, that guy.
We were having our half-time pint, and I was saying
What did you have?
there's
Lager?
got to be.
Lager
I had
too?
I had Guinness because I don't like the new
The
lager.
lager's not
don't
very
like
nice.
the
The
new
Guinness is not very nice.
lager.
Anyway.
Apparently the beer in the Red Dot bar is horrendous on a match day.
beer
It's
in
much
there.
better upstairs. I can tell you that for sure. Although that first week we had to send 2 pints back because they were rough as. Anywho, we said put some money on 2 red cards because at half time
Who did you think would get sent off?
I just thought there would be. Well, actually, I'm going to be fair to this referee now because being so close to the bench, you get to
I
hear,
did see you.
hear a lot of stuff.
I
Yeah,
was keeping an eye out for you.
and the fourth did come over to Russell Martin and said, "Ref has just said Louis on his last chance. The next one, he's
He's
gone."
off.
Yeah. So fair play to the referee
Yeah,
for
fair
saying
enough,
that.
yeah.
Obviously, that would have been communicated
And these are things
to Louis as well.
you don't know if you're sat in the cowshed, do you?
So I will give him that, but yes, there was a point where you thought to yourself, where did... Oh, there it is, look.
What's that?
I was going to say, I'm sure my glass was on a
On some kind of mat
on a
thing?
beer mat, and
It's a Guinness.
floor on the floor. So yeah, he somehow managed. I mean, it was a good job the half-time whistle went, because I think that would have just got worse and worse and worse. Again, I don't know if the ref would have. They generally don't. If they're going to say anything to the managers, it will be as they're walking down the tunnel or whatever. But
I mean, what could you say to Gareth Ainsworth? Could you say, mate, I know what you're doing. I know what your game plan is.
Yeah.
I'm not falling for it. You can, I mean, there was one tackle that was in the East Stand side. I think it was in the second half. I can't even remember who it was that tackled this bloke. But one of their blokes got tackled, and I swear to God, he must have done about 4 or 5 somersaults before he rolled.
It was.
Holding his leg,
was.
and you're thinking,
it was near the halfway
mate,
line on the east side.
You're thinking,
And I
mate,
thought,
what
if
are
you're
you doing?
that badly injured,
Get up,
you
mate.
can get away
you
with
know?
that in the Premiership and in Spain and Italy.
not here.
But in League One, you just look really
just
silly.
look
Because if you're that badly injured, you're not going to be able to do 4 rolls on
No.
the tumble.
I mean, it
and
was quite
a
bizarre.
half pike as you go over. So,
Like I said
did see-
before, I thought to myself, what is this? Why are you doing this?
it did seem to be part of their plan.
Oh,
and
it's definitely a
it
game
took away
plan,
from
really.
their own. It took away from their own football.
It did.
Now I don't know. I mean, again, I've been in change rooms and I've
Particularly
worked
good, to be
under.
quite honest.
I've worked under 3 different managers.
Go on, name
and,
them.
and none of them.
Crobble,
Crobbo.
that other
Scottish
Scottish
fella.
fella, and the other one.
I suppose technically Richie.
Forgot about him.
Oh no, it's 3. Yeah, Richie, Carl, and
Good for
and
them.
Nielsen. But
Who was
other
your
than
favourite? Was Robbo one?
well, it was for the good times, and the bad times. What's that song?
What song? Well, we got a song
Good
coming up
times,
later on, haven't we?
Have we?
Well, you've played it on your phone before we started.
Oh yes, indeed, yeah. Actually, I've got a song because I think there was a lot of talk about the singing on Saturday as well and how good it was.
It was good, I must admit. The atmosphere was
to
brilliant.
be fair, we didn't really get a lot of it on the.
To be quite
on
honest
Club
with
Red.
you, I think, ironically enough, Wycombe's shithousery display that helped us, because you're thinking to yourself, you just think, what are you blokes doing? And I think, these Don's Action blokes, they could see what was happening on the pitch,
Yeah.
and they reacted to it. So well
Which
done,
is
High
good.
Wycombe.
Which is good. Yeah.
For helping
and they were
us along.
also saying there were definitely no more than 6,000 people in the stadium, which was hilarious.
Those
So prior to the game, we had sold 1,300, which is an incredibly high number for a home game,
What,
even on a
walk-ups?
Saturday. Walk-ups,
Really?
1,300.
Pretty good.
This is at half 11 midday.
And like both ends, like home
No,
and
no,
away?
this is just the home ends.
Really?
So plus
good.
our season tickets,
Yeah.
you're looking at already just under 7,000 in the home areas, including season tickets.
Oh, there was
Obviously,
only 6
not
there.
all season ticket holders
You know that.
arrive.
What about all the free tickets that get given away?
Well, this
every
is the other thing. So, in my experience, right, and I've always said this, and it works, and Andy Cullen will give you a really good explanation of why, but in a nutshell, if you give away 1,000 free
I
tickets,
thought that's a lot of tickets, though.
right, which is apparently just a figure that we would probably
500
give away,
guys are going to turn up.
if that.
Yeah.
And probably a lot less than 500 are going to turn up. If you charge them £1, they will turn up.
They will.
So there is no
Psychological games, Tom. He's
other
playing.
than
Not
from the financial standpoint, with the free under 12s, you have to have an accompanying adult. So you're getting at least one paying adult with up to 3 under 12s. That also, and any club will tell you the same thing, also introduces more kids to the game, which is what we want. We want the kids coming. We want them coming repeatedly.
Yes, repeat. That's how
as
I
often-
ended
as
up
often
going,
as
because my
possible.
lad, we took him once and then he wanted to come next
Well,
week.
exactly. And again, the quality
15 fucking years
Yeah,
later, I'm
15
sat in a
years
shit
later.
on Wednesday night talking shite.
But those they could become fans for life.
Yeah.
They might not, but at least they get the opportunity. And also, there is that opportunity for kids who, particularly when I was looking after the group tickets, there'll be a lot of kids whose mum and or dad work on a Saturday and
right.
don't have the opportunity to take them to football. But if they play for their local under 10s,
Yeah.
then they'll get a good deal on a group ticket deal.
Yes.
So what we used to do was, for every one adult, you would get for every 10 kids coming,
Yeah.
and they were only paying £3, but it's still £3. You would get a free adult. So basically, what you were saying was, if you bring your under 10s along, all 10 players, or 12 players, or 15 players, your coach comes for
Coach
nothing.
for nothing.
because he's the one that's going to organise everything
Yes.
and get all the tickets and the
And
money
they're all in
together.
the little matching jackets.
Exactly, and they love to sit there in their kit.
You got a cold, Tony Hawkins?
I've got very much
I can
got
tell.
a cold. So yeah, so even if you do give away loads of free tickets, if you go away 1,000 free tickets, I can guarantee you, absolutely 100%, at least half of those people will not come to the game.
No, I can see that.
Yeah, and in general, it won't be adult tickets either that are being given away.
No.
It will generally be kids. There might be a special offer.
This is another thing that's become like attached to Milton Keynes. It's just a thing now that people
It's coming
think.
back again, isn't it? It went quiet for a few years because people realised that, all right, they're sustaining this sort of 8,000 every home game. And then when it went down, through the Nielsen years and
Which
when
is
we got relegated,
understandable.
and now we've gone back up,
coming
sort of
back.
approaching 7,000,
I
8,000.
mean, remember
People
the
are
end
saying
of last,
it again.
like the very last game of last season when we got promoted. There was some twat on that bloody TalkSport. Do you remember that? And they asked him what the attendance was.
Yeah.
You know, and like.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, remember that? I mean, he was dumbstruck at that, and you're thinking to yourself,
Yeah.
you're dumbstruck, mate, because you just assume that because we're Milton Keynes and we're playing in Division 2, i.e. League Division 4.
I don't
you know?
think it was
Nah,
anything to
mate.
do with us per se. I think it was the fact that it was a League 2 game.
And he's just
we get
so out of touch with
we
reality.
get
that look.
we regularly get the highest attendance for leasing.com games.
But people
Now you
just
can't give tickets away
No.
for those games. You can't give cup tickets away because the club has to pay a certain percentage to the Football League or whoever the sponsor is or whatever. So FA Cup, League Cup, leasing.com,
Yeah,
you can't give free
yeah.
tickets away simply because the
It's not our
some of the
competition.
money goes to the away club, some of the money goes to the Football League, the rest goes to us. So you can't give, but we regularly get the highest attendance at leasing.com.
But that
no one
don't
ever
fit
says
the-
anything about
that
that.
doesn't fit
It doesn't
the-
fit anybody's
no,
agenda.
doesn't,
No,
no.
it doesn't. Anyway, back to the
Back
game.
to the game, sorry.
Back to
It
the
was a
game.
bit of a
So the
digression,
goals.
wasn't it?
The goals.
The goals, Tony. Go on, first one.
First one. Who scored?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I'm so excited.
I know who
about-
scored the
So
second
excited about talking about tickets
Was it
as per
Carlton
usual.
Morris? I think it was.
It was, yeah. So
Yeah, I
let's
remember
have a
it now.
think. So when was it? It was quite late. They
There
weren't
was an
close together.
offside goal, wasn't
So
it?
no, it
'Cause
was
I was
Healy.
in the bar.
It was Healy, wasn't it? The offside goal in the
it was
first
Healy,
half,
yeah.
just
yeah, I
before
was
half
inside
time.
the bar, and there was a massive cheer.
Definitely
and I
looked
thought,
offside.
Oh, brilliant. But I was bang
At the time, as soon as it came back from the keeper, my immediate thought is offside, and I think he knew. He put it. He even put it in apologetically. No, it was Healy.
It was
68. Healy 68.
And he ran across the side, didn't he? That
Yeah,
was
so
the goal.
he was unmarked at the back post, which is never a good thing if you're
Nope, if you're a predator like he
if
is.
you're a defender and you leave their main striker alone at the back. How it ended up with him. I mean, again, these are the sort of things I've always said it that you can't teach players that won't
No.
be in training. That
No,
won't be
he
part
just
of training.
knows where to be,
He just
doesn't he?
knows that. On the off chance, I mean, 9 times out of 10, the ball's not going to come to him, or someone's going to
Yeah,
head
you
it
can't
away.
coach
Or,
that into someone,
No.
can you? He's just
it's
that
just
kind
an
of guy,
instinct that strikers have, like defenders who read the game will know where a ball is going or where someone will be
Where to be
playing
at
or
the
so
right
on.
time.
So, and the same with the strikers, and it was a great finish as well because you had that one. Was it the one that Sam put past the far post?
When? On Saturday, just gone.
Was that? Oh no, that was.
A couple of weeks ago.
That was a
wasn't
couple of weeks ago, wasn't it? But yeah, it was very similar to that position.
It was, but
But it wasn't so high in the air. It wasn't so high in the air, and he slotted it away nicely.
A big goal.
That was
finish.
then. It was shit yourself time because you thought, well, 1-0 probably won't be
Not
enough
good.
here today.
I
because
I
they'll
must
start
admit,
pressing.
I did think to myself, right, you guys have now got to stop. You've got to stop rolling about on the floor now, and you've got to come out and play football. But Tony, they didn't.
They didn't play
They
football.
decided
no.
to just keep rolling
And
about.
if anything,
be
we
twats.
actually then took over the game,
We did.
and we did spend
Completely
a
dominated
huge
them.
amount of time in their half.
We did.
And
then-
Gladwin, who,
Ooh.
by the way, go with me on this,
Go
the
on.
new Keef Andrews.
Is he the new Keith Andrews?
I think he's a very similar player because reading his interview, not a particularly long one, but you know he's had this injury for
He
2
has.
years, and he said he's really glad to be
700
back.
and
But,
odd days he's been up.
yeah, so I didn't quite realise it was that long.
No, did I.
And he is clearly a quality
He
player.
is. I mean, that was he beat what 3-4.
Well, he did that turn.
He did.
There's a great perspective on it from pitch side.
There's two separate videos been taken,
Yeah,
hasn't there?
yeah,
One
so-
from each side of the goal.
The little
What's the first
turn.
one?
the little. Oh, actually, you know when he played that ball, and I said he did this little trick, and I've no idea how he did it. It was immediately before the goal in the last where he put it through. Yeah, so I didn't realise it was actually
pass last week.
Yeah, he actually did this little tippy tappy gone sort of. Anyway, so he rolled the first player. He got the ball. He rolled the first player, and then he basically just drifted off to the left, didn't he? And
he didn't have a lot of space.
You must have been almost behind the keeper.
Yeah, right behind it. Yeah.
So, reminded me of one of the ones Lee had. It might have been at Wycombe actually, and a couple of weeks ago, where I thought to myself, he must have seen that late.
Yeah.
Because someone said to someone else who was in the cowshed looking down behind the goalkeeper, over the goalkeeper's shoulder, said he dived over it. And it also looked like it was going wide. Either way, it went in.
Did he, to be quite honest?
Well, he didn't get to it, did he? So he must have seen it late, because he did come through a few players. But
I mean, it was a cracking finish. It was a real bit of, like, how can I best say this? It was a bit of quality that was above anything else that was on the pitch at the time.
And I think with his 2-year injury he's had, Blackburn had basically forgotten him.
Yeah, basically. I guess.
So their loss is our gain. And
is he on loan, or have we signed him?
I think he's signed him.
Let's see.
I think it's either way. Again, clearly
tweet
Blackburn don't want him, but he's going to be. I think he's going to be really important, and I think he's going to start games at the expense of most likely David Kasumu, definitely.
Having said that about David, I've written down here that we've got to give the kid credit, because when he came on Saturday, I thought he was better than all right. I thought he was good. He really was. I mean, he did a tackle, he got it right, and he got away with it this week. So I thought to myself, you know what, mate?
I mean, obviously,
we've slagged you off for the last 4 or 5 weeks, but you've come on this week.
We haven't really, have we? We've just said that he's been a little bit iffy with a few tackles.
But I thought he had a good game when he came on
and
Saturday.
it will come. I mean,
he really did.
He hasn't had a bad game as such, other than
he's not had a bad game, but he's like we said last week. His tackles are a bit wayward, but not on Saturday. I thought he had a really
but you can also say the same about
Saturday.
Alex Gilby and Jordan Houghton as well, with silly yellow cards as well. So
that's what it was.
But no, I think all round. I mean, we pretty much, it was pretty much the same setup as the second half in the previous game.
Yeah,
where we had that width, and Sam played a lot on the out wide, giving us more room in the middle, and it does give. And also, I don't know how this works, but it means that we're playing it around at the back less now. I think maybe because we are opening the game up wider.
Well, I mean, the last 2 games at home,
to the wings.
We've stretched the play, which has, I mean, it's worked to our advantage, obviously, because obviously Russell's thought, this is the way to go, and it's worked. I mean, no doubt. All right, complete disrespect to Wycombe. I thought they were.
Well, I can see why they've lost their last 6 away games. I can actually see. I can see.
To be quite honest with you, Tony, if their game plan is to go out there and kick the shit out of people and roll about, then you think to yourself, you know what you should be doing, guys? You're second in the league. You're second in the league for a reason. Stop rolling about on the floor. Stop hacking people down. And especially if you lose your temper, do not kick the ball into a child's face.
Well, all I'm going to say about that.
Go on, Tony. All I'm going to
say about that is people saying that he should have gone and apologised.
Right, I don't think that would have been a good idea.
A few Dons fans have actually said the referee wouldn't let him go and apologise.
He definitely did stop him.
Yeah, so yes, he was wrong and it hit a kid in the face, but
I'll be honest with you, Tony.
It could have gone anywhere else, really, but. And he has apologised since. But
good luck to him.
Again, I think a lot of that is our fans jumping on the opportunity to have a go at them.
They fully deserve it. I mean, they have been.
Do you know who I tell you who? Ainsworth. He's the new Clough, isn't he? He's the new Nigel Clough.
He's
when he can't deal with a situation, he seems to turn into Nigel Clough.
I mean, it was a odd. I wasn't expecting them to be like that. And subsequently, when I've been reading their equivalent of the concrete roundabout, I just think to myself, well, the majority of them were arguing about whether it's legal or illegal to stand in an all-seater stadium, which was funny. No, mate, listen to me. It's illegal to stand.
You do know when you always know when the other team has pretty much accepted their shitness. In that they don't actually talk about the game afterwards.
And then they start falling out with themselves.
Yeah, then they start arguing with each other. So no, there was a lot of things that went on, but it's 90 minutes. It's one game. We've won 2-0.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll show. And
we fully deserved it. I mean,
looking at the table now.
I tell you what's good about the table is that Tranmere lost last
Well,
night.
they did lost 3-0 at home, didn't they,
3-0
to Doncaster. So I can't believe that it was more than 2 or 3 weeks ago. I said our target should be to catch Shrewsbury.
Yes.
Now, if we beat them on
Saturday,
we will definitely go above them
oh, good.
on goal difference, because at worst we'll be on -8. They'll be on -8.
Oof.
But we have actually, believe it or not, one of the few teams who we've actually scored more goals than.
Than them?
So my dad tells me, yeah. So
They must be shit.
Bolton on 11, which is actually 23 if you take into consideration their
was this
-12.
points?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
So they'd actually be above Tranmere now,
Good.
but they'd still be in 21st. Bolton on 11, Southend on 16, Tranmere
They're coming
22.
back into it a bit, aren't they,
Yeah,
Southend?
but I think it might be too late for them.
Yeah.
Then there's a 6-point gap between them and AFC. Then it's us 3 points
Are we above
ahead of
AFC
AFC.
Wimbledon?
Yeah, we are 3 points ahead.
Stop.
We've got 1 goal difference worse off.
Are we above AFC?
Yes, we are,
Oh,
by
good for
by
us.
3 points.
Oh, well,
then
good
it's
for us.
Rochdale 32, Accrington 33, Shrewsbury 34, Blackpool 34, and then Lincoln 37. So I think our target now, and Lincoln are the only team that have taken more points in the last 9 weeks.
I mean, the good thing about...
They've scored 19, we've scored 18.
We're now, I think we're 9 points above the drop zone, aren't we? If I'm working
We
that
are
out right.
9 points
I mean, that's
above.
that's-
AFC and Tranmere both got a game in hand, as of Southend, but
I think Tranmere, they could play every fucking night.
they are not very
They are
good
shit.
at all.
They've gone,
They
mate.
are, and I feel sorry for them because they
No,
lost.
fuck them.
They lost the lad to Ipswich, didn't they?
Good.
And you're not going to be able to replace a player like that. You just
Well, not now,
you have
because
to
the window's shut.
fall on your feet. And I think with our loan players or new signings, we've actually very much fallen on our feet with the quality that's been brought in.
Speaking about the
Gladwin,
window,
Morrison, yeah.
my biggest plus point for that window is that we managed to keep a hold of Callum Britton. That's
Yes.
what I was thinking.
Yeah, I
the
mean,
other
there
day.
was a-
'Cause
there
see,
was
on
a
the last
time-
day, I thought to myself, I'm going to go on the bloody internet here, and it's going to say that Callum Britton's signed for Ipswich
not a
or
lot
whatever.
happened, did
Nothing
it? Not a
happened.
lot
Well, we
happened.
signed some
I mean, not just us, but in
goalkeeper.
general.
No, it was a bit quiet, wasn't
Yeah, he was straight in as number 2, wasn't he? And
As-
Russell
think-
Martin first said he's in to stir up a bit of competition with the goalkeepers. Then a couple of days later, he said he's there to challenge Lee for the number 1 spot. So I thought, ooh, because we've now got
Is that
we've now got Stuart Moore.
Is he not injured, Stuart Moore? I've read on the internet that he's got a broken finger or something, and that's why we got that guy in.
Possibly.
I mean, I'm just saying what
but
I've
that's
read
what
on the
Russell
internet.
Martin said. So I mean,
That other kid.
you might get an emergency
What's his name?
loan
Is it
in,
Laurie
but-
Walker?
Laurie.
He couldn't play for us anyway, could he? Because he not played for 2 other clubs this season, so he can't come back to Milton Keynes.
Oh,
whatever
right.
happens.
So, I don't. I mean, it could
It's
be
an odd
injured, but-
signing, to be quite
does
honest.
seem
What
to
I
me
did
like
think
he's-
to myself, I thought, what my initial thought when I read into it was, I thought, we're doing them a favour because, like, Russ thinks that, like, this time next year they'll then do us a favour.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. It was you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. That's what I thought, because I thought to myself, that's a really odd signing. That we don't need that guy.
So I want to know,
I mean, I don't know
where's
what they
the? I know it's only
What's
2.
his name?
Where's,
Can't even think of his fucking name.
oh no, I can't
Let's call him
remember either.
Keepsy.
Let's call him. No, let's call him number 2.
Okay, number 2.
Yeah. What's the Blackburn connection?
What, from Russ?
Yeah.
I don't think there is one. I couldn't figure that out.
Maybe it's a scout then that he's
I
got.
don't know. I mean, there's something going on.
There is something.
'Cause
There's
it's
got
an
to
odd
be something
signing.
there with
Unless-
Blackburn. I mean, obviously the
Like
Norwich
Stuart
the
Moore.
Norwich connection
Yeah,
is
you
clear.
can see that straight away.
But the Blackburn one, if
can't
anybody
get-
knows what the
Yeah,
connection
tweet
is,
us.
even if it's
and see, when you tweet us, don't ask for a mug.
yeah,
Be honest with you.
even if it's tenuous or you're just guessing,
just make something
because
up.
there must be a reason why we have got a couple of Blackburn players in, because it does seem to be.
There must be some.
There's got to be some sort of
connection
connection.
somewhere,
Maybe it is a scout up that.
I mean, I'm not
that
adverse
side,
to having him, because if Stuart Moore is injured, then, we will need to have a reserve keeper. But
Well, let's be honest. With all due respect to Stuart, and he
No.
did a decent job last season when he came in for those few games
Well,
until he had
until he
a
had that
couple of
nightmare,
nightmares.
yeah.
But it's clear after the Newport games, particularly, and I hate to say this, but he's not
Oh,
good
say it,
enough.
go on. He's not listening.
He's not good enough for
He's
for
not
us.
good enough. He isn't. I've said it before. Tell you what, you sneeze your guts out. You done?
Oh, jeez.
I've said it before.
I
I'll
should
say
have
it
stayed
again.
in bed.
You
I
should have
really
done.
should have done.
Listen to us, all you people. He's come out his sick bed. I'm knackered.
I've had to get in my car. I haven't been anywhere for 3
Drive
days.
through one side of Milton Keynes to the other. I sit in a shade at the bottom of a fucking garden. It's middle of February.
But it does smell like apples. So
I've got a new boiler though.
you've got a new boiler and a new air freshener.
That's smashing. It smells lovely in here.
It is. It really does. Yeah.
Like I've said it. Like, going back a minute ago, I've said it before. I'll say it again. Stuart Moore is number 2 at our club because he's not good enough goalkeeper. That's why.
He's a token gesture.
He is. He really is. That's exactly what he is. You've got to have a reserve keeper on the bench. Sorry, mate.
Who can step up?
You're not going to get a game.
And
mate.
to say, under Tiz, when he came in for those few games, he did all right, but then he had an absolute nightmare. Because at that point, he was keeping Lee
we see him goal a couple of weeks ago when we played Newport.
It was honestly, as I said, him and Bailey Cargill was the first time I've ever seen 2 individual players have their worst game of football I've ever seen them play. That's for sure. I mean, I can't speak for them when they were at other clubs, but they were absolutely awful.
So getting back to the game, I think it was fully deserved that we won.
Yeah, and
I'm glad we won.
And we're now getting we are getting to that point where those results are justifying the performances, the amount of possession, the passing game. It's good to watch.
It was you know what? And do you know why I knew things had changed? Because normally what happens with me and my lad is, as soon as that guy puts that whistle to his lips, we're off up the thing. So we waited, and that's been a long time
he loves
since
that, did he? He loves that.
It was good. I mean, I took a video of it, which is on our Facebook group. But like that, I mean, there was a lot of people who'd waited behind for that, and you think to yourself, that's good, mate, because this is what this club needs. This club needs someone like you who gets the club in exactly the same way as Robo did.
Well, I think I always point back to Forest Green last season when he scored that 94th minute winner, and it was right in front of us, and I could see, I was in the whites of his eyes, right in front of me. Him and Louis, and Russ was like he was 8 years old and he just scored his first ever goal.
Brilliant.
And you can't, again, that enthusiasm is infectious, and it comes from just enjoying and loving the game. I imagine he probably hates not playing,
I would have thought
but
so.
at the same time,
he's young
he
enough
will
to still play.
Yeah, and he'll
but I'm
hate losing.
genuinely surprised at A, how quickly it's turned, and B, how professional he is when he's. You wouldn't have thought that 2 or 3 months ago that he was playing for us. You just wouldn't to look at him now if you didn't know.
I always thought it was a bit weird that he was playing for us anyway, because he's not the. I mean, you see it a lot less rarely, a lot less often these days, where players who are coming towards the end of their careers or getting a bit older will generally, particularly someone with his, I can't think of any other word than wealth. He will have earned a few quid. He would have earned a few quid playing in the Premiership over the years.
I've got a new feature I want to bring in.
So
I've just remembered a new feature.
Oh right, okay. That hunger to want to play games,
yes,
is often these days outweighed by the fact that they're multi-millionaires. So I don't really have to bother and go and play at Scunthorpe on a Tuesday night. But he clearly still has that passion.
He does.
And he's showing it as a manager as well, which
my
we
new
love.
feature, Tony, is remember last week when I said odd places that I'd seen Willie Gray?
Oh yeah, you've got another one.
No, it's an odd place that I've seen a football manager.
Oh yeah, go on then.
I've seen Mark Warburton today in Great Missenden.
Great Missenden,
which is just
where is he now then?
He's QPR.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah.
It was a strange time, right? Because I thought, I wonder where he's going. I looked at the time, and it was about 11:30, 11:45.
Well, I've got one for you.
Maybe they had a deal.
I've got one for you.
It was him.
Actually, not a manager, but a footballer.
Go.
My daughter sends me a message of a photograph of Ben Chilwell.
Oh, right.
Leicester and England player.
Yes. Where was he?
He was in the tanning salon my daughter works in. So you can only presume he's a Milton Keynes boy. He's a Milton Keynes boy, so he must still live in Milton Keynes.
I guess.
Either that or he's visited and thought, you know what,
Leicester,
I'll go and have a... But no, apparently he's a regular. So
if you've seen any footballers or football managers in an unusual place, please let us know.
And let us know if they're in a supermarket and you see them. Let us know what they're buying.
Especially if they're buying stuff. Yeah,
I mean, I've seen Daniel Powell in Asda. I thought all footballers shopped at Waitrose. Daniel Powell.
Daniel Pound.
Yeah.
Is
So
he
I
still
checked
local
his.
to
I
him?
checked his.
Not moved up
No,
to
he's in Crewe
Northampton?
now. I don't know if he lives in Luton
Good
still
luck
or
to
not,
him.
but
Is that where he came from?
He never
Luton?
lived. Yeah, he never
I knew
lived.
there was something about him I didn't like.
He never lived in Milton Keynes. He's always lived. Probably the richest man in Luton, I would imagine.
I would have thought so.
When he was-
Well, I'll be honest, Tony, it's a low bar, quite honest.
So, do you want to talk about mugs?
Well, yes, I'll talk about mugs now. Right, as you all know, if you've even seen the pictures, we had
And a lot of you have.
some mugs made up, but they were purely a sample batch, so we had 4 mugs made up. Like, 3 of them have gone already. Tony's had one, I've had one, my son's had one, and there's another one. Now, I'm keeping the other one. Basically, I just need one. If you would like a mug, what I'd like you to do is if you could, well, I'm going to put this on the concrete roundabout. If you'd like me to get one, however, unfortunately, if you want one, they're going to be about £8, for you to have one. I'm not blowing smoke up my own arse here, but the quality it's quite
very good.
outstanding.
It
really
good.
is quite outstanding.
The print quality, I have to say.
I mean, it is. It's not a transfer, basically, is what I'm saying.
No, it's not like one of
I don't
those
know how
ones
they've
where,
done that.
where the lines you
Yeah.
used to get when
No.
you send away to.
It's definitely not that.
somewhere
They're
other.
good quality. If you'd like me to get one, I don't think there's a minimum order, but I mean, if you'd like one, then
It's going to be £8.
it's going to be £8 basically.
He wants the money up front. If he doesn't meet the minimum order, if there is one, you get your money
get
back.
your money back,
But he's not
basically.
going to take your money off you unless you actually. He's going to take money off you if you.
I mean,
want
there's
one.
no. I
So-
don't think there's a minimum order, but if what I'm not going to do is, because I've got to pay postage and packaging, I'm not going to get one and then
Yeah,
another guy.
exactly.
So I need probably about 10 for it to be.
There'll be no profit
financially
made,
viable.
but
There won't be. Fucking
John
no.
wants to make sure he gets all his
Yes,
money.
I do. So
So that's the
if
end
you'd
of that.
like a mug, I mean, I'm going to put it on.
It
our
does seem a bit.
Facebook
There's
group.
some very,
There
very.
has been. I wish people would stop
greatly
asking me.
surprised by the interest
Yeah,
in
I
those,
really
to
am.
be
I'm
honest.
surprised. I must admit. But
Um,
it's a lovely mug. I mean, I've drunk out of nothing else this week. Tom.
It's in my kitchen mug now. It's
Oh,
my
right on.
it's my home coffee mug. So
It's lovely.
yeah, indeed.
So mugs, yeah. Right, have we had any emails, Tom?
We've had some emails.
How many have we
We've
had?
had some emails. 3.
3, I'm
I
surprised.
think that might be some sort of record.
Go on,
Um,
who's first? I bet you one of them Stairsy.
So
Oh,
this is-
Stairsy!
Stairsy.
I forgot to tell you. I
Yeah.
just remembered. I'm walking out the cow shed on...
You just completely went all Billy Connolly there.
Right.
Oh, Stairsy!
I forgot all about it. So I'm walking out the cow shed on
Yeah.
Saturday after watching Rustewie's fist pumps. I'm walking past the toilets just between the Gate 5 and the cow shed bar.
Yeah.
Walking past there. I see this guy running towards me. I think, what's going on here? The guy grabs me, picks me up and gives me a massive kiss. Stairsy.
Yes. He's a good lad.
He is.
He's a good lad. I didn't see him Saturday, actually.
Ah, did he kiss me?
At the man of the match. Well, this is Alex Briggs.
Okay, Briggsy, I'll call him.
Alex says, Saturday was the first game I've been to for quite a while. Great one to
That
choose.
was a good one
I
to
know, he
choose, mate.
says. I've often thought some of the music choices at Stadium NK over the years have been a bit hit and miss. For example, whilst I think the pre-game and half-time music is decent, I hate Chelsea Dagger as goal music, and we've had some dodgy choices as walkout music too. Now, a couple of those things, the music, the welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
For those that don't know the history,
I know the history of this, Tom.
is that it was the first
ever
song
song played.
that was ever played when we walked out
It
at
was.
the National Hockey Stadium. So that will never go.
That's never gone.
The Cozy Pal stuff, I don't think that will
I'm
ever.
keen on
that
that.
ever does.
I
But
quite like the Who thing, the
yeah,
whatever
so
it is at the minute. What's
Chelsea
the song?
Dagger as well. There's a little bit of
That's
history
alright, I don't
behind that.
mind that. That's good.
Chelsea Dagger as
We
our
don't
goal
hear it very
music.
much, do we? Quite honest with you.
We were the first football club to play Chelsea Dagger.
Never knew that.
Yeah, before it was even
Yeah,
released.
so we're keeping that.
Yeah, somehow Lee Scrim managed to get hold of it.
Good old
And it is a great song. It is
It's
a good song. Yeah.
It's one of those songs, though, that's overplayed.
So he said, I was thrilled to hear The Longest Day by Nick College played at full
I
time.
don't know it, Tone.
Right, so this song isn't called The Longest Day.
What's it called?
So I probably shouldn't be doing this, and I'll ask Lee.
Is
but
it on YouTube?
it's on YouTube.
Well, it's public here, Tone.
Yeah, so it starts off and you don't recognise it, right?
Oh,
There you go. Right, so that one. And all the time,
who was that singing that?
that's Big George.
I did think it was.
It is Big George. So that song
You used to live
specifically
just
that you're
across the road
talking
from me,
about,
Big George.
The Longest Day is the name of the video.
Ah, right.
One made by Toby, or the Milton Keynes Citizen.
Oh.
in celebration of the longest day of the year being June
Right
the
down
whatever.
the old bloody
Yeah, so that was
21st of June.
Midsummer Boulevard and all that sort
Right
of thing.
down it.
So I don't actually know what it's called, but it is by George Webley. The
I'm
longest
calling
day.
it Milton Keynes in brackets City of Dreams.
Yeah,
Close
I think
brackets.
that's exactly what it is.
Well, there
Actually,
you go.
yeah, it's by Big George. It is not called The Longest Day by Nick Cottage. The Longest Day is the name of the video
right
that
on.
song is in. Anyway, link here just for you so you can give a listen. I can't give the link out, but if you just search on YouTube The Longest Day,
You'll come up with that
by
film
Nick Cottage.
that's about 4 hours fucking long
Yeah.
about the D-Day landing. So skip past that.
Yeah, so that song, so it can't be sold. You can't actually buy it. You
Why?
can't download it.
Why not?
Because Big George never gave
Ah,
the
never gave
rights,
permission. Ah, right.
and never gave permission for it to be sold. No one seems to know why.
I see his son nearly every day, maybe I could ask
Yeah,
him.
so now he's died.
He has.
Obviously, we can't get his permission.
Oh, that's
so
a shame, that.
Lee Scriven, in complete fairness to Lee, has been trying for a long, long time because
can
that is
imagine,
one
yeah.
thing that people ask him endlessly.
Yeah.
Can I get the Milton Keynes song? Can I get the Milton Keynes song? Can I get the Milton song?
Can I get one of those podcast mugs?
And can I get a mug off you as well while you're there? So there's a little bit of info for you. So if that ever does come to the point where
Yes.
we can actually get it and you can actually download it, we'll be the first to let you know.
We'll be selling it.
And we'll be selling
You
it.
get
yeah.
a free mug with it.
But no, it is a great song. It is
That is
a
a
great
big
song.
song. That is.
He says, I'm not too sure if playing this at full time is something that's been done for a while. It has.
been, yeah.
But you haven't heard it very often.
No, because we've not
because we
fucking
haven't
won.
won a fucking game for so long. But every time we win, it's played. He thinks it's great. There's often been talk of us having some kind of anthem at the match, and I think this song is far better than some of the top 40 UK shite that gets suggested. What are your thoughts on the matter, and would you like to see this song be more present on match days and even hear it sung in the stands? I would love to hear it sung in the stands.
I'd
However,
like to hear
it's
guys,
not
some guys
yeah,
singing that.
It's not really a terrace
That
song.
isn't a terrace song.
You could probably take the chorus and maybe change a few of the words. I don't know, but I mean that's one's for the Don's actions, boys.
They wouldn't do that.
If you're listening in, boys, and we know you are, have a think about that. But
And then ignore it.
yeah, you can, as I say, if you search YouTube for The Longest Day, Nick Cottage, there is a Milton Keynes Citizen video that was made,
Oh, good for them.
which included that music. So currently, this is literally the only way you can listen to that song anywhere in the world.
If
Unless
you were the
it's
kind of
at
guy, Tony,
MK Don's on a Saturday afternoon and we win.
If you were the kind of guy that was internet savvy, I bet you there was some kind of program that you could download onto your computer that automatically downloads songs from YouTube. I bet you could find that if you were the kind of guy. But I wouldn't do that to
No,
him.
we wouldn't even.
I wouldn't recommend
even
it, Tony. In
recommend it
fact,
or
I would
suggest
say
it.
don't
No.
do it.
No, the man didn't want it released. He didn't want it available. I don't know why. Lee doesn't seem to know either. But I'll speak to Lee. Who knows? I mean, if you see his son, you could even ask him.
see him.
Ask him directly.
I'll probably see him tomorrow.
So Alex, I'm not going to read the second part of your
Well, I
email.
am, because Alex has said, don't read this bit out, but you two guys are fucking brilliant and your podcast is great. Don't read it out, because I'll be embarrassed if you see that. Thanks, Alex.
Right, so that's not quite what Alex
That's
said.
not what he said.
It's not quite what he said. But Alex,
I'm paraphrasing to him.
Yeah, I would like to read out the second part of that. So
But we're not gonna.
drop us a line again. Let me know if you'd be happy for me to read that, or to put it into some sort of context.
But I'll
maybe.
be honest with you, mate. When I read that tonight, I was chuffed to bits with what you'd said. He's the only guy that's going to get this. Apart from the bit where he said me and you were brilliant.
Yeah, unless he wants us to read that next week.
Well, he
maybe.
said I was
Yeah.
better than you, to be quite honest.
Our old mate Jonathan
he's back.
Harris, he is.
What does he say, John?
Good evening to you both. The last
Evening,
two
Jonathan.
podcasts have been really good and enjoying going through the back catalogue. The last two, you said to me, the one before last week, which I hadn't actually listened
Was
to.
good.
I listened to one after the other.
With that Irish guy
on the same day,
That
yeah.
was good.
Artem's one, yeah.
I thought last week was pretty funny.
It does seem to have gone down really well. I don't know
Yeah,
what.
good for us.
Again, could be because we're winning and
'Cause we're
doing well.
winning, Tom.
You know, that might be it. It's nice at the moment to see a team playing with purpose and identity. Saturday was another great performance and another string to the squad's bow. I think the majority of fans would have been aware of the style of Wycombe. Obvious from and the style is in inverted commas. Obviously, from the start, they wanted to stifle our play. In particular, doubling up on Gilby at every opportunity, and the plan to wind Lewington up as much as possible didn't work.
Well,
we rode the
said
storm. Yeah, we rode the storm, and our quality shone through. Now three of our next four are away.
Are they really?
Yes, indeed.
That's not
And it
good
would
for
be
me.
nice to see the continuing momentum and that we seem to be building on at the moment. Would love to see a good haul of points and even a win would be nice. I'd be interested in your views on the most improved player so far under Russell Martin. For me, it has to be Jordan Houghton. The way he keeps the team ticking, even under pressure, is such an important part of the way we play. Keep up the great work, and hopefully see you at Shrewsbury, Lincoln, or Portsmouth. So Lincoln is a Tuesday night, Portsmouth is a Tuesday night, Saturday.
Not going to see us
Shrewsbury. There. I won't be going to, but definitely won't be going to Portsmouth. I'm thinking about Lincoln.
My son's going to Shrewsbury.
But I definitely won't be going to Portsmouth. So most improved player under Russell Martin. Jordan Houghton is a good shout.
As I'd say, Gilby.
I don't think it's most improved. I would suggest that it is
freed them up to play the way they want to play.
Exactly, precisely. They've been
given the shackles off.
They've been given the freedom to play the football that they're capable of.
Good at.
And these are players.
The right player in the right position. Makes wonders for your style of play.
And it's becoming. We're seeing now patterns to our play with Houghton picking the ball up in our last third and running with it. Gilby now more advanced in their half. The players up front spreading out wide. I mean, it's just good to watch at the moment, and so we're feeling good. I mean, we are getting some really good feedback about the podcast, and I think there is a certain amount of that the club's doing well, the team are doing well. There is a positivity about it,
which has been sadly lacking.
And as we said, even with a couple of the recent losses, there wasn't doom and gloom.
No, there
unless you were on the Facebook group.
That what we were doing, to be quite honest, that we're,
even coming back from behind at Rochdale as well.
Yeah, good for us.
We don't think we even mentioned that, coming back from 1-0 down.
No, which is unusual.
It was the last time we did that and won a game.
Is that us all we
Stairsy here.
Oh Christ, I thought you'd rate him out.
That was a more promising week from the team. Showed tenacity in coming from behind to beat Rochdale and a controlled performance against Wycombe. I, along with many fans, found the Chairboys were second in the league, playing the style of football, ball percentage football on Saturday, very peculiar.
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
Yeah. Considering the teams we have played, like Posh, who were very dominant and ball barely left the surface in the entire game. So that's got to be down to the manager. Changing the style of play if you're not doing well just strikes me as not necessarily panic, but if you're second in the league, there's a reason you're there.
There is.
Why change the way you're playing? You're going to lose games.
You are.
Of course you are. You're going to lose games. You're going to lose points.
You're not Liverpool.
Yeah, but it's exactly that. You're not Liverpool. You're not Premier League. If you're second in the league, though, in League One, there's a reason you're there. Why change it?
To be quite honest with you, if you had been a neutral and knew nothing about football, and you'd seen that game Saturday, and someone had said to you, out of these two teams, one of them's top of the league and one of them was near the bottom, go on, pick one. And without a shadow of a doubt, anyone would have said that we were infinitely better than them on Saturday. Yeah. And I'm glad, I really am, because they really need taking down a peg or two. They really do.
Well, I think it's because they're second. They've been there for a while. They've just basically got delusions of grandeur, and they'll be back to normal soon.
I can remember like years ago when we were at not the Cowshed, what's that other place, the hockey stadium, and it was like Southend they were top of the league.
Yeah.
When we were in League One. But they'd never beaten us up until that point. And they did go on to get promoted that season, but they'd never beaten us. And
Very rarely.
I remember walking out at that hockey stadium. It was quite near the end of the season, and they'd brought a fair few fans. All right, I mean, in the bloody hockey stadium, a fair few fans would have been about 7, wouldn't it? It looked all right. But I remember coming out, and they're all shouting, and they're all like, "Way!" and all that. And I, being a much younger man than I was then, I shouted, back to this guy, "You've never beaten us, mate." Which they hadn't at the time, so. Well, they're exactly the same. They have just. Where did all this shit come from? All this Billy Big Bollocks? Is it because they've got some American millionaire pumping money into them?
I think that.
And yet they've got the bloody audacity to slag us off.
I don't think that they have got a sugar daddy, apparently, with a few quid. I don't think that's anything to do with the fact that they're second. I think they're second because they kept beating everybody.
Well, that would be technically, Tony, that would be
correct. And not letting goals in. I don't think it's anything to do with the money. There is a certain amount. I've always found it odd when a team is in decline because of behind-the-scenes issues.
Yeah.
I mean, most notably, obviously, over the years, Leeds, Southampton, those teams that have come down to League One, Portsmouth and so on, all those teams, that they do perform badly when things are going tits up. In the background.
Oh, it's got to have an effect on you, isn't it? If you don't know if you're going
I
to even be paid
don't
next
see
week.
how. I don't see how. I mean, yeah, there's the money thing and whatever,
but
but I'm not talking about players who aren't getting paid. I'm just talking about regular players who, when it's all going shit in the back. Anyway, Stairsy continues. The fanfare around the fact that Ainsworth has been at Adams Park over 10 years, and this was the best he could come up with at a ground where Wycombe have only won once in all that time. The constant badgering of fourth official after every tackle Lee made was borderline childish, and I think we were happy when Lewingham told him to shut the fuck up.
Did he really?
He did, yeah.
Good.
Halfway through the first half. Quick points on the fans, very quiet and in small numbers. Very arrogant. Yeah, if you spend 5 minutes on their forum, and Anthony Stewart smashing that ball into kids' face just summed up their afternoon to an inglorious ending. The team now looks very settled, and what a choice of defenders we have to choose from. JMT, Williams, Walsh, Paul, Louis and Britton. Midfield is looking good with Houghton in imperious form, and Gladwin coming for a positive weapon. I do think he'll start more regularly.
I'd like to think he.
There is little doubt that Morris is a stellar signing and a real focal point for us. Would be great. Would be a great permanent sign, but that is for the end of the season. At the end of the season, I can see Bowery, Boateng, Reeves, and Cargill leaving the club. Notice he doesn't mention Kieran Agard there.
Where's Reevesy going on?
Reevesy is injured again.
Oh right.
Again, I will say it again. And despite what Tisdale said that he wouldn't fucking leave us alone. It was a bad signing.
It was a bad signing. I'm sorry, Ben. I do love you.
As good a player is, he's only good when he's on the pitch.
If it's only for that little glance back at that Man United game where he put the ball.
We'll always remember you for that,
yeah,
and the 30-yard curlers that you dig out regularly. But
I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm really sorry, and I'm really sorry we didn't sign that Irish fella, Stephen Gleeson. I'm glad we didn't sign him. Is he signed for Oxford yet? I bet he has.
No,
he just keep turning up every day.
I don't think he's actually signing for it. He was released technically only this year. This last month, in January, officially. So he couldn't sign for anyone, I don't think, anyway.
Oh, that's a shame.
Unless a fee was going to be paid, which no club in League One, League Two.
I mean,
is going to pay.
It's a sad thing, and like we were saying earlier on before we started recording, if you listen to that John at Sembabor interview, he really struggled when he finished football, you know. It's not a thing that you would think that someone like him, because he had this, and he says it on that podcast, that he had this persona where he was really laid back, and people felt that nothing upset him. It must be an astonishing thing to if you've started playing football when you were about 7 or 8 years old, and you get to your late 20s, early 30s, and suddenly someone just goes like that. It stopped. Yeah. What are they going to do, these guys? It's all right taking the piss out of them, Tony. It's not just a big thing. It's
not just the changing room.
It's the banter.
It's the banter with the lads. It's the money.
It's the routine.
Going from what is massively higher than the average wage, unless you come out with your coaching badges, and even then you're not guaranteed anything.
No.
If you've got all your badges.
This is another thing he said. He went and did his coaching badges and then gave it up because what he said in that podcast is he said it's all right to do them. But then I've got to hawk my arse around other clubs to try and get somewhere, and he's just given it up.
I mean, it is clear that
so it's all right taking the piss out of Ben Reeves and bloody Gleeson, but I mean, it's a hell of a thing.
I've spent entire summers with players who have been coming in between the end of the season in May and pre-season starting in June, and they know that they're not even going to go. Yeah. They do travel pre-season, but they're not training with the other lads. No, they're still training separately. So even when they do get the opportunity to get on the grass, they're training, they're doing stuff with Simon or Adam. They're not involved with the main group, and that is the loneliest place on earth.
I would have thought so.
I've spent an entire summer with Ben Reeves playing head tennis and getting a ball in a hoop and all that for 2 months, and it's a horrible thing, particularly when you're on your own. I mean, that's how him and Lee Hodson became very close and eventually shared a house because they were injured at the same time. Prior to that, they hadn't really had a lot to do with each other, but Chucks was another one. Loneliest place on earth.
I thought so.
Chucks would leave at 3-4 in the afternoon,
long
after
worst
everybody
thing
else
would be that when you're coming in and you're going to this door and everyone else is going through another door, and you're thinking, fuck me. I mean, it must be horrible. I mean, I would urge everyone to listen to that John at Semaboard podcast, but what I will say is I'd also urge you to skip the first hour and a half, because fuck me.
If you skip 2 or 3 minutes at a time through to the MK Don stuff, you'll undoubtedly stumble across something about him having a fight
with someone. And then he'll say, I always wound up in these situations. I don't know why it was.
You just got to jump in. You got, if someone of your mates is having a fight, you got to jump. You got to jump in. So.
And then I was arrested, but I've no idea why. Yeah. Well, could it have been because you were in a fight, mate?
So. Yes, I forgot where we were. We were off on a tangent there, didn't we?
We were talking
did we finish with Stairsy? We did, didn't we?
We did finish with Stairsy.
Yeah. That was it. We did touch on it briefly with Stuart Moore still being our player. Injured or not, we don't know.
Yeah.
But also Kieran Agard, Jordan Bowery, also still our players. Bailey Cargill.
A massive squad at the minute.
Yeah. But, I mean, they did play in this...
They played in a game the other day. They did. I did see yesterday because someone tweeted that's a strong lineup for a reserve game.
Yeah.
I mean, I looked at it. And I
so you are looking at.
It's not that strong, is it? It's got Kieran Agard and Jordan Bowery in it.
Kaggs, Bowery, Boateng, Reeves, and Cargill. Players that at the moment aren't getting in the squad.
They ain't getting back in the squad. Those guys, they know that as well. I feel a bit sorry for old. For Kaggsy, to be quite honest, because when he signed last year, I can remember we said in this podcast, that's a brilliant signing for us. It really is. I'm so glad he's signed, but he has just done nothing this year.
He doesn't. I'm absolutely positive that he won't want to go. Or he can't now, anyway.
You can't go now, can no one can go now.
I don't know what he can do to get ahead of. He's certainly not.
He's not going to get ahead of. He's not going to get ahead of any.
Morris.
No, he's definitely not there, is he?
I mean, at the moment, it's. Even if he was better than those players, I mean, I remember I was talking to Richie Barker about Darren Potter.
Yeah.
Darren Potter got injured just before Christmas, the season that Rotherham got back up to went back up to the Championship. So 2 seasons ago? And I said, why? Potts has been out since Christmas. Why is he not playing? He said because we went on a mad run. And we couldn't let him back in the squad. As good as he is.
Disrupt the squad.
The team, and that's what I don't understand with Gareth Ainsworth. If you're second in the table and you've had a bad run, you're still second in the table. Why would you go out to try and wind teams up, individual players up?
Do that?
Just go and play the football you've been playing. I mean, I'd kill to be in that position. Because I can guarantee I don't think Russell Martin, if we were second in the league and we'd lost 7 out of our last 10 or whatever it is that they've lost, they've let in a huge amount of goals and they haven't scored very many. Nope. I can't see Russell Martin changing the way that they would play. I really can't. And we know what happens when Tisdale did it. It was an absolute disaster. And it cost him his job. Whereas I think with difference between, and again, I've always argued that Paul Ince sort of hinted at it when he was a manager, when he stopped playing. In the Premier League and the Championship, he went and played for Swindon, and he didn't last more than a few games because he said, and I quote, "The ball just kept going over my head." Yeah. So it's very difficult for players who have played at that level to not only drop down to play. It's easier as a defender and easier as a striker, but if you're a central midfielder of that ilk, it's going to be very, very difficult to do.
I don't think about it like that, to be quite honest.
As a manager, you're coming and you've played Premiership and high level football for pretty much your entire career, and you're coming in and managing it. Paul Ince got it right straight away with us. He did it at Macclesfield. He performed an absolute miracle at Macclesfield. But when things went tits up, and when he came back to us, and Roberto Di Matteo was the same. We were second in the league. We had a bad run. We had three games on the trot. We lost, and he had the players in training 7 days a week.
That's no good. That.
Why? You're second in the league. You're having a blip. Just carry
on. You're going to have a blip. Every team is, unless, like you say, you're the aforementioned
there
Liverpool,
might be other factors that come into it.
You don't know what goes on behind the scenes, do you?
No,
I mean, I don't know anything about Gareth Ainsworth except that he's a fucking idiot. That's the only thing I know about him. He's like a boring man. Everything he does is just slightly off.
What I think he likes this public persona a little bit too much that he's got.
Oh, he loves himself. He definitely does. You can always tell when someone's up their own arse. I said to Alan Smith, we would have to wait, get on the coach after a game. We'd all be sitting there waiting for Smudge to sign all these autographs, right? We're there for fucking ages, and he'd sign every single one of them. He'd have every single selfie done.
And I said to him, does that not drive you mad? He said, well, imagine what that was like at Newcastle and Man United.
I guess
he said, this is nothing compared to what I used to get there.
I guess.
And he says, and they've all waited for me.
They've waited for him, yeah.
So why would I not sign and have their selfies? He said, you have to sit on the coach for an extra 10 minutes. But
and the problem is...
it means a lot to those people, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He won't remember that, but like some, I don't know, 16-year-old Man United fan who's just going to see... his team playing against Milton Keynes, you think, bloody hell, it's Alan Smith. I'll get his autograph. Remember that for the rest of your life.
Exactly, and that's why he did it.
Alan
Because
Smith won't remember it 10 minutes later, but that kid will remember it forever.
Yeah,
so good luck to him.
Never. I've seen it with opposition players, and I've seen it with MK Dons players doing the old headphones, keep your head down thing.
Yeah.
And that's really fucking annoying. You're playing for Tranmere or MK Dons or Rochdale, mate. Get a fucking grip.
Yeah,
some kid or 3 or 4 kids want your autograph on a selfie. Just do it. It's not like it's thousands and thousands of people.
I'll do it. Stop me in the cowshed bar. Don't ask me for a mug, though.
Yeah. I found a video, actually.
Go on.
Of, I can't remember where we were, but
I
went to a game and I was absolutely dying. I mean, I was properly flued up. I could barely walk. I ached from head to foot. I set up the game and I wasn't allowed in the changing room for obvious reasons, in case I infected any of the players. But
coronavirus, Tony.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That's the worst flu I've had in many, many years, and I have flu jab now. So, and
it's not working. To be quite honest with you, wasted your money there.
A few of the lads outside they're all singing "There's Only One Tony Hawkins," and I thought at the time, fucking hell, lads, I'm dying here. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. But then afterwards, I'm thinking that was really nice. They've actually gathered there just to sing to me, which was great. It was really take the piss. Now I don't mind that, but it's nice to have that, and I think players, particularly those
excuse me,
at a certain level, doesn't matter what level you're at, but yeah, if you're a Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, you're going to get a lot more of that attention. But if you're League 1, League 2, just sign the fucking autograph. Just have the selfie.
Sign your autographs, you bloody idiots.
Yeah, and I will use Alan Smith as the benchmark for all of you.
Be Alan Smith.
Yeah, be better. Be Alan.
Yeah, be Alan.
Be Alan.
Right, what are we thinking for Saturday then?
So Shrewsbury on an absolutely terrible run.
Are they good?
They had a game last night.
Either.
Did you see the goal?
Oh, it was an own goal, wasn't it?
Absolutely brilliant header.
I did see it. I've seen it.
Now, what I want to know about that is what was his thinking behind that? Did he mishead it? I don't think he did.
I think he just wanted to clear it, didn't he? And he
did he clear it to his keeper, who was 5 foot away, or?
Well, he's a League 1 player for a reason, Tony.
Yeah. Either way, they lost last night, so they'll
What I was hoping was it was going to go to extra time and they'd be more knackered.
Yeah, extra time.
They'll be knackered anyway. I don't give a shit. They'll be tired.
Yeah. So at the moment we are much better than them.
Good.
The form table. I mean, weirdly, our form in the form table isn't great, but we know that how well we're playing. So I'm gonna.
Let's go 2-0.
I don't know. Phil MKD. I'm gonna say 3-0.
I'm saying 2-0.
It works.
I'm saying 2-0, me.
Did you say 2-0 last week, didn't you?
Probably. I think I said 1-0. I can't remember.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm going 3-0.
I'm confident we can beat them.
Comfortable.
I don't like them.
That's one of my Saturdays that I have to work this Saturday, so I can't go.
My son's gone, so I might.
Yeah. So get him in, shall we?
Twist his arm up his back next week.
Because he hasn't been on yet, has he? So,
no, he hasn't. He keeps saying he wants
bearing
to
in mind
come
he's
on,
10 foot away.
He is quite literally about 30 feet from where we're sat at the minute. So yeah. I mean, like I ain't going. I've been there loads of times. I'm not going again. It's a shit place. I have a bit of a problem with them. They're another club that one of their managers, like, he said something shit about us once, and just think, yeah, fuck you, mate. You know,
I've never really had a problem with Shrewsbury.
No, I don't like Shrewsbury.
I do like the journey isn't the easiest if you're on the train. That is.
I went on a Tuesday night once. I drove on a Tuesday night. I mean, when
I went on a Tuesday. Was that the one where Bode scored in the 93rd minute?
Remember, it was. We got told off for like singing that their guy was going to get sacked in the morning, and
was that Carl?
I can't think what it was. No, like
Carl used to have a moan about that.
Oh, he didn't like that. But I remember, like, their stewards come up and they were trying to get us to stop singing it, which of course
that was that night.
Of course we complied with it.
Yeah, straight away. That's definitely going to make us stop.
Yeah, we stopped straight away. I remember that. Yeah, it was a Tuesday night. I drove up. I mean, I've been to their old ground a couple of times. and I've been to the new one a couple of times. I don't need to go again. I've been there. It's shit. That's another identikit stadium. I didn't even get
That
in
is,
the
yeah. I mean, to be fair to them, it suits their needs.
It does, yeah.
It suits their needs. It won't be
You
as
can't
full as it
park
was
there,
last
can
night,
you?
obviously.
You can't park, can you?
I think you can if you get there early enough. What we did, we just parked.
Yeah,
and
I
walked
can't
off.
remember what I did
but
when
yeah,
I
it's
went.
miles from any pubs like ours.
There's no pubs,
so if you're on the train,
Don't go.
if I remember rightly, it's CMK
It's
to
a nice town. The actual town itself's
Birmingham.
lovely.
Birmingham
But-
New Street, I think, or International, and then to Wolverhampton.
But the ground, Tony, is nowhere near the town centre.
It's not. So there's a pub just outside Shrewsbury train
Oh,
station.
right. What's it called?
I heartily
The Real
recommend
Women,
it.
I'm calling
It
it.
probably is called something like that. I can't remember what it's called, but
Porter.
Dan McCallum will
Fireman.
definitely remember. Yeah, why would it be called the Fireman?
Well, the old stoking the old coal and
Oh
the
right,
trains
yeah,
to-
yeah. I thought you meant fireman as in.
Tony, no.
Oh right, okay.
Porter,
So yeah, there's a pub just
fireman,
there. It's got a
the conductor.
the conductor,
I'm struggling now, Tony. I really am.
the points
The
operator.
points operator.
So
The
there's a
signalman.
pub.
Oh.
That was it. That
The
was it.
signalman, that's
There
it.
is a
It's called
pub
the
just
signalman.
outside the train
It's
station,
called the signalman.
which welcomes away fans, and they've got a
does.
nice pool table as well. And
good.
and then it's a short taxi ride. Well, it's not short, but it's a taxi ride from there to.
Yeah.
But don't go to if you're on the train. Do not go to the stadium.
No.
Complete waste of time.
Waste of time.
So we forgot about our question for Willie's gloves, didn't we?
Oh yeah, I forgot all about that.
Willie's gloves will be up for
I'll think
once
up
we think
another
of a
one
question.
next
So.
week. I'll make an effort. I've been busy this week. I really am.
Yeah. And now the joy is returned. Send us your stuff, albeit still not huge numbers, but 3 emails in a week.
That's good.
We're happy
I'm
with
pleased with that. I was surprised.
mkdonsradioshow@gmail.com.
And if you want a mug, I need a firm commitment before I order them up.
Yes, £8 up
£8
front.
There, £8
You will get your money back, obviously, if John doesn't get enough orders, if there is a one, but he doesn't think there's a minimum order. So
I mean, I'll take the hit for the post-season packaging. I don't mind that, and I don't mind. What I'm looking for 10 people to order to make firm commitments. That's what I really need to make it
there you go.
financially
There's our
viable.
target.
I don't mind taking a hit on it if it's good publicity for us, and they are good quality. But I need at least a minimum of 10 people to say they want one.
So there you go. If you want a mug, John will get on the concrete roundabout. You could also email us, I suppose,
You could do,
mkdonsradioshow@gmail.com.
I'd like a mug.
Or via the Twitter.
Here's my £8.
Or even the YouTube. That's the other thing I've noticed. I was looking through the YouTube comments the other day. There's a few
Yeah,
on there I've
I've
never
not
actually
looked at
seen.
it.
So
I've been busy this week. I've had a bit of a hard week of it. Fitting boilers.
well, I've been severely
Yeah.
ill. So
I'm a bit ill myself. I might have another gulp of whiskey
I
when I
think
go
you
up.
should.
Right.
You should.
I'm going to do it now. Right, that's us done.
Yes. Bye bye.
Whiskey, bye.
I'll go to work tomorrow. Actually.
Man, I wish I'd never gone today, but it is what it is. Here's what I was, High Wycombe. Of all the places to go to.
Oh, good idea.
It wasn't great.